Hello there, this is Breeze. This is my first audio commentary for Warcraft 3. I will be playing as the pink orc in the top right hand corner of the screen. My opponent is Mef-u Night Elf, yellow top left hand corner. I'll try not to refer to myself as me for the entire game. I'll try and do it in the third person perspective. Call myself Breeze. I chose this game to do because I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very back and forth game. I will be doing more replays if I get some positive responses. Hopefully with players such as Grubby or Remind. I just watched their World Cyber Games 2010 3-set. I was really rooting for Grubby to win. Unfortunately, Remind took it in the third game. He took it really easily in the third game, even though Grubby did put up a good fight. I'm going for a standard orc build here. Altar and a burrow. Burrow is complete. Altar's just coming up to completion. First hero will be, if I remember correctly, a Blade Master. Yes, popping a voodoo shop up just to get those healing salves. Are crucial for the Blade Master in early game. Over on the Night Elf side of things, Mef-u is going for an Ancient of War just to creep this camp here. He'll be popping an archer out of there, no doubt, just to get the extra damage per second in. I haven't actually watched this replay yet. I'm just doing the replay commentary on the fly, so do bear with me. Deciding to go for a Warden. Personally, I would have went for a Demon Hunter. Warden can be a little bit squishy when facing Orc. He's decided to build his altar and his Moonwell very far away from his Tree of Life and the Gold Mine. I think he's done this by the looks of things just to keep his wisps out of my sight line in case I'm harassed, and secondly just to reduce the area I can damage his buildings in around this bit. It's created kind of a gauntlet through this section here, so the shop that he's putting up is perfectly placed. So if I do harassment on any of these three buildings, I'll be taking a walloping from that Agent of Wonders. The creeping has begun up here. The archers pulled out the creeps and ensnare it, but the Ancient of War does decide to step in there. Eats a tree to get his health back while he's creeping these down to red health. The Warden has decided to pop out, shows her face. She will be taking down these red units and getting the experience from them. It's a good creep technique from the Night Owls. A lot of players have picked it up now from watching pro replays. You can creep 2 expansions sometimes really early with this technique. Ring of Protection's dropped from this camp, not the best item, but it's quite useful for the Warden, as she does have only 4 armour, where the Blade Master has 5. The first thing I've done is popped a Windwalk, went to the Goblin shop, bought a Circlet of Nobility and a Scroll of Speed. I bought that from my Voodoo Lounge just in case selling my town port was a bad move and I need to pop out of there extra fast. Looks like I've Windwalked and going in for some harassment now on Mef-u. Get the early critical strike in on the archer. Shadow Strike pops onto the Blade Master, which slows me down even in Windwalk form. Doesn't want to leave that archer alone. I do manage to drag the creeps back into his base for a little while. As I mentioned earlier, this creates a gauntlet for me to go through, and he's trying to get the block there. I Windwalk out of it, and he's good with Shadow Meld. That archer managed to survive popping off the Moonwells. Lesser Clarity Potion being used by the Night Elf Warden. Breeze's hero doing a little bit of a scout up at the top of the base, noticing that his buildings are all down there, and decides to attack the gold mine just to bring that down. Straight away Mef-u is having none of that. He's going to be trying to block in that Blade Master, uses a Shadow Strike to slow him down quickly, gets the archer in position just a little bit too late, and I managed to squeeze out of there. Uses Dust of Appearance just in case to pop Windwalk, really not needed as I am on 57 mana. You didn't check that, you need at least 75 to pop the Windwalk. I will be retreating out of this fight now. Low hit points, low mana, really nothing that can be done with the Blade Master anymore. Ancient of War decides not to be replanted. Personally, I would have brought it back down here to create a bit more of a gauntlet, but it's been left at the top for now. Mef-u, wasting no time with creeping, goes straight for the Null Brute camp. And a Tome of Intelligence to drop, not the best item at all for a Warden. I mean, it gives a little bit more mana regeneration and pull, but very, very weak item. Myself, I've gone back, gathered 2 grunts and decided to creep this camp at the top there. Picked up a Claw of Attack from this camp, which is a very good item for the Blade Master. He's already a damage machine for the Orcs. With any Claws of Attack added to him, he just becomes beastie. Blade Master goes back to the shop, pops a healing salve on himself, and heads down to creep some more. Night Elf looks like to be having a little bit of trouble with this creep camp. I'm not quite sure why he shadow struck this forest troll trapper. Should have focused down this Ogre Magi straight from the start, just in case I decided to wind walk in there and steal the item. Does get it down and manages to get the Circle of Nobility, which is a good item, especially for low level heroes, but it does prove to be useful all the way through a game. Creeping this camp out, the Knoll camp gives me a nothing. No, I think it was a tome. Yeah, it was Tome of Agility. Got popped onto the Blade Master. Very low units here, deciding to creep this camp. Go Windwalk just to get the first crit in on that Renegade Wizard. Don't want the damage from it or spells being cast. Dies and drops a Talisman of Evasion. Really nice item. That's 15% dodge for all of attacks upon it. At the same time, Mef-u is going for his camp at this side. Having to pull that hero out, he's almost lost it to those creeps. It's quite careless. Lightning shield being popped on the archer, almost goes too close to the warden. It's a very sloppy creep. He's also lost his forest troll berserker. It's bad creep in there from Mef-u. If I would have seen this, I would have been all over him. Decides to take down the Renegade Wizard last. Not quite sure why he did that. Talisman of Evasion he got as well as I did. Manages to pop down that last creep. His army's taken quite a beating though. He's got a Forest Troll Priest just to heal up his damaged forces. And he went for an early second hero from the tavern. It's the Naga Sea, which can cause quite a few problems if you have to retreat from a fight with those frost arrows. It really slows down the unit. You can pick them off. Meanwhile, Breeze has gone for a Shadow Troll Priest as well to get this army healed up and salving all of the damaged grunts from that Renegade camp. Also purchased a Forest Troll Berserker to get that extra damage per second up. They do 28 to 37, which is a lot better than the grunts. Creeping this camp now. Get the Shadow Hunter as my second hero. Blade Master levels up to level 3. Mef-u's quite quiet up here. Looks like he's doing a bit of item swapping. Picks back up the Circlet of Nobility. This camp has dropped a Gloves of Haste, which is awesome for the Blade Master. It's not as good as Claws of Attack, but it really speeds up the attack and does extra damage. Going to creep this Ogre Magi camp now. First thing I do is take down that Ogre Magi so he can't cast Bloodlust on any more units. Get another Claws of Attack, which means the Blade Master right now is just a machine at dealing damage. Night Elf army meanwhile is creeping out this marketplace camp at the top. I've no idea what he was playing at with his creep, and it seems to be very erratic. Naga Sea Witch taking a heavy pounding from that bloodlusted Ogre Magi. Tome of Agility is being dropped from this camp, and the Magi drops a Potion of Great Healing, which is an amazing item for any hero. Meanwhile, down the bottom, a Tome of Experience has dropped, which is awesome for the Shadow Hunter, so it puts him nearly up to level 3, just needs a quarter more experience. I didn't notice this Wisp when I was playing. He's kept that there just so any time his hero dies he can quickly pop that to the tavern and resurrect it with half health and get straight back into the fight. Here I decide I want to take out this, not notice that I'm being jacked for quite a while. First thing I do is try and get that Naga out of the fight, so I pop a speed scroll just to get close to it, but he uses that potion of healing that he picked up from the Merc camp up the top. Very nice item to be picked up there. Managed to take that Naga Sea Witch straight out of the fight. I didn't want that lagging me down. I decided to try and take out this creep after all that damage I've been sustained.